If I think every game's a trap game, they can't hurt me. Let's talk about it. I need a new intro. I'm just gonna make this up. Welcome back to Timmy Talks. Today we'll be previewing the Week 10 matchup of the Chicago Bears against the New York Giants. Let's get right into the tail of the tape. Last week, the Bears won a crazy matchup against the Bengals, improving to a 5-3 record. Meanwhile, the Giants are just having a really bad year, 2-7, lost last week to a decent 49ers team, and now they get to face the juggernaut of the Chicago Bears. Womp womp. This Giants team is very meh. They have really good players on that defensive line. Their D-line is probably the scariest and best thing about this team. Offensive side, they're starting rookie Jackson Dart now, who's shown that he's decent. He's not great. He doesn't have a lot of weapons around him. They did have Cam Skattebo, and Dart kind of had an electric 2 weeks. Unfortunately, Skattebo got a big boo-boo on his leg, and he's out for the rest of the season. So without him, their run game is kind of not great. Their passing game's decent. And on the defense side of the ball, their D-line is really good, but then their linebackers and their secondary, they're not great. They're nothing special. So when you mix that all together, you get the New York Giants, who are very meh, but can be dangerous, which is the scary part about this team. All right, let's get right into the injury report this week. Holy fuck, is this the roster or the injury report? God damn. All right, so for the Bears, you got Josh Blackwell, another DB, out this week. TJ Edwards is out with a hand and hamstring injury. Robinson is out with an ankle, another rotational D-line player. Swift is questionable, which is good. This tight end, Smithy, is questionable. Luther Burden, welcome back from concussion. Everyone else is good to go for Sunday. So that is good news. TJ's the biggest loss this week, but we have Sewell and Edmund still at linebacker, so we should be okay on that front. For the New York Giants, an even longer injury report, which is crazy. They're out this corner, this receiver, their kicker, and then these DN, linebacker, center. Don't know any of these guys. Losing the center and having a guard questionable is never good. Everyone else, no idea. Losing a kicker is never good. Seems like everyone else is healthy. I don't see any big names on this injury report. Let's get right into the Chicago's offense against the Giants defense. As you can see, the Chicago Bears offense is currently ranked 6th in the league. Yeah, you fucking heard that right. 6. We're almost top 5 offense. What the fuck? I can't remember the last time the Bears offense has been this good. Been in the top 5 and top 10 in like huge stats. Like I think they're like the number 1 rushing team. They're top 10 passing team. They're 6 average points scored in the league. Like, this offense has been clicking. Ben Johnson, our savior, the Pope, maybe has something to do with it. I don't know, but whatever's working, we just got to keep on rolling, keep on doing the good things. Huge shout out to this O-line. They have been just playing so well, playing so good as a unit, and I think this is probably going to be their biggest test so far this year. This Giants D line is nasty. They are nasty. I know they're only the 28th ranked defense in the league, but this D-line is the scariest D-line that the Bears are going to face maybe all year. Maybe the Eagles too. But you got Sexy Dixie at defensive tackle, one of the best defensive tackles in the league. And then you got Kevon Thibodeau, you got Abdul Carter and Brian Burns on the ends, and they're just like kind of rotating, or sometimes all 4 of them are out on obvious passing downs, which is just terrifying, because as good as the Bears offense are in the run game and kind of play action, their pass protection is so suspect. And I think that's a huge matchup that's going to determine this game. That's why key to victories, I got the Bears just taking care of that D-line. You gotta stay on schedule, can't fall behind the sticks. You gotta utilize your strong running game to make second and third down short and are very manageable. Don't allow the Giants defense to pin their ear back in obvious passing downs and be able to rush the passer, coming out with the exotic blitz or just stunts to have one of their crazy DNs or safety dicks to get through and get pressure on Caleb. I feel like Caleb's gonna be running for his life, because for the Giants' key to victory, I think they just have to attack Theo Benedict, or the Bears left tackle. He's been doing well in the run game, but the pass protection, he has been suspect. I think the Giants' strategies should just be rotating their DNs, giving them a chance to go at Theo, or overloading the right side to allow one of their pass rushers to have a one-on-one on Theo, because if they do, I feel like they're gonna get a lot of pressures and might convert it into sacks with Caleb. So ideally, I think Ben Johnson, he's a genius. He knows this. I imagine that we're going to get a lot of chip blocks, a lot of help with Theo protecting that left side of the line. The Bears stay on program. They minimize their penalties. They keep running the ball the way they've been running. I don't think they'll have any problem scoring and finding the end zone. But you never know. These games are weird. Let's get it on to the flip side of the Bears defense and the Giants offense. All right, so after last week's performance, the Bears defense have now dropped to 29th in the league, and the Giants offense are currently ranked 22nd. For the key to victories, I got the Bears defense is just not letting Dart cook. Don't let this man scramble for a bunch of yards. Don't let him have easy completions. The Giants offense, their key to victory I got for them is control the ball. Somehow, some way, find a way to keep moving the chains, keep possession of the ball, keep the Bears defense out on the field as long as possible, and keeping it away from Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson and the Bears offense. Because if the Giants are able to get a lead and force the Bears into passing situation, that plays into their favor with their D-line and their pass rush against the Bears offensive line and their pass protection. So that is, I believe, the way that this Giants team will beat the Bears, is if they're able to execute on offense, take care of the ball, get first downs, limit the amount of time and possession that the Bears offense can have to allow their defensive line to go eat and win them the game. This is the scary part of the game, which is so weird. Like, what the fuck is this? Are a Bears defense getting carried by the offense? Like, what? What world are we in? What timeline is this? This is not good. Yeah, the Bears are potentially out without TJ Edwards this week, and our secondaries are still banged up. Thankfully, the Giants don't really have that many offensive threats besides Robinson, their one receiver. Offensive scheme is very basic. They just run a lot of crossing routes when they get man, a lot of like just short hooks, short passing. They don't throw it down too much, but against this Bears defense, anything's possible, as they showed last week. Thankfully for this week, the Bears aren't going against a Jamar Chase and a T. Higgins. Giants don't really have that kind of talent on their offensive side. So I think the Bears are going to be able to handle this Giants defense as long as Jackson Dart just doesn't start going crazy and making insane throws and just running all over the field. I think the Bears should be able to handle this Giants defense. All right, let's get into the bets. So the Bears are favored by 4.5 points this week, and the over-under line is 46.5. I got the Giants covering the spread, Bears winning the money line, and then the over just barely hitting by a couple points. You can go either way. I don't think these defenses are good enough to kind of not allow touchdowns to happen, so I'd probably hit the over on this one. For the prop bets, Swift and Manangai are both healthy, so they're going to be splitting carries, I imagine. Rome was held to 0 catches last week, so I'm just gonna keep going back to that well. That well's been dry because I've been missing on all my Rome picks, but you know what? Eventually, one of these are gonna hit. With Rome, Rome's gonna have 6 catches this week for 68 yards and a touchdown. That's Rome's stat line. DJ's gonna have 4 catches. He'll probably have like 80 yards, no touchdowns. Loveland had a huge game last week. I believe they're gonna keep going back to him. I feel like they found a way to utilize his size and speed out in space against this Giants secondary. I feel like Caleb is gonna go back to him a lot. I'll say 4 catches for 53 and a touchdown. DeAndre Swift and Manungai, they're rushing. I think Swift's probably going to have, it depends on how hurt he is, because it is a groin injury. I think Swift's going to have about 50 to 60 yards, and Manungai is going to be around the same, 50, 60 yards. I'm going to say the touchdown's going to go to Manungai. Those are the prop bets I got going on this week. Let me know. I hope they hit. I hope. Honestly, y'all should just be doing the inverse of what I say, because I've been wrong pretty much all the fucking time. But hey, that's the fun of the game. All right, let's get into the score prediction. All right, so for my score predictions, I got the New York Giants scoring 24 points. Yeah. Probably get a couple touchdowns, kick some field goals. It is what it is. Our defense isn't that good. But the Bears, I think they're just going to score 27. I think it's going to be a very average scoring game. We'll see what happens. Probably going to be sloppy. Probably going to be messy. Probably a lot of shit happening. But the Bears win. Giants cover the spread. And then the Bears are 6-3. What the fuck? I think 2018 was the last time we were 6-3. That's kind of crazy. If you made it this far, thank y'all so much for watching. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, bear down, Chicago Bears.